Peace, peace, peace. Divine understanding, born of law. Ancient order, free Asiatics, and Son of Man 7. You know how we do it. Production and publications. We was building on what was Yacub's rules with. What was Yacub's first rules and regulations, including on laws enforced by manufacturing and devil. But that wasn't the gist of the build. Actually, what that came up because it's Yacub. So automatically when you think about Yacub, you won't go to the 88th degree and the 140. I mean, 88th degree, the 88th degree in 120. 120 lessons, or you're going to go to the 28th degree. So, if you have your lessons lined up the way I have mine lined up, 88 and 28 is the same lesson. If you don't have it lined up that way, then you know it's 28 for you. If you just going by the 1 to 40, then it's 28 for you. But that's not the point. The point was the mathematics and the alphabets. You don't really got to deal with the 12 Jews at that level because the 12 Jews, they in 120 by themselves. It's really hard to dismiss 12 Jews when they're in 120. Like nobody's going to say 12 Jews are not in 120. That's gonna change that. So you'll be all right on that level. I didn't get my 12 Jews till after I had already quoted mathematics alphabets at 120. Then I got my 12 Jews. But that was because when Igor was giving it to me, he was giving it to me verbally. Like I had the lessons, but he was like, okay, I'm gonna give it to you verbally. Like so. I verbally learned mathematics, alphabets. And then that's when I noticed that when we quote 120, I was talking about like how me and Igor was quoting 120. What I noticed was our quotation didn't always go in line directly with what we had as 120. And then I noticed later on, nobody's did that. Like depending on which tree you got your... So remember now, there's 9 firstborn from Mecca. And then there's 14 to 15 firstborn in Medina. And I don't know how many firstborn in Pelon, the desert, the oasis. And then you go to Pennsylvania, how many firstborn in Pennsylvania, how many firstborn in New Jerusalem, which I don't know if they still call it New Jerusalem, but back in them days we had it as New Jerusalem. And that was like the main core of what went down that came right out of Mecca. So you had Mecca, Medina, Pelon, Staten Island, Savior Island. Then you had the desert and you had the oasis, because the oasis would have been the Rock and the desert was Queens. And then you had Medina. So the oasis is in between Medina and Mecca. I mean, in between Medina and the desert. Right. I'm just saying, when we was looking at it geographically, later on they started doing it by names and numbers, or some people name their city based on the letters. They might have did it by letters, not geographical location. Seattle, even when I was out there, we saw it as Morocco because geographically, if Manhattan is Mecca, right, the Pacific Ocean would have to be
right, exactly.
Right. So that's how we all did that, and even when people who I didn't know and we didn't know each other, but we was all in the nation, but we didn't get the lessons together. We didn't know each other. Even geographically, they looked at it and said, "Oh yeah, this has got to be Morocco." Right. So, and I remember I was out there and I was talking to the guard, right, and he was saying, when I was out there, I was talking to the guard. But when I came back home, I talked to the guard, and he had said, yeah, they had said that some guards had remembered we had came out there and we had left lessons and left. And he was like, yeah, he just like left, gave us some lessons, but he left. So not knowing the full story, them not knowing, and brothers who he's telling, the guards who he's talking to, they not knowing. It's looking like we abandoned them. But that's not what had happened. What happened was we was on our way to Florida. We drove to Seattle to see family. Ran into the guards, and they didn't have a lot of lessons, and they didn't have the math and stuff. Like, they knew from verbal what was going on. Like, a lot of them already was quoting mathematics and alphabets, and the 1 to 10 and the 1 to 36, I think. But they didn't have it in their hand. Somebody had gave it to them, and they had a few lessons. So I was like, well, I'm leaving, but I'll leave you. We make copies of whatever I got that you can make copies of because we leaving tomorrow. We was like that. Like, so I left what I could, and we jetted. We was going to Florida, man. We was on our way out of Seattle. We had already been up there for years. We was leaving.
So I understood.
Right, so that's how that happened. So I didn't want people to think that I just dropped lessons off and abandoned them. I was like, they guards already. And I knew 5%ers from the Army that had been in. That's how it got out there. Soldiers from Fort Lewis and from McCord Air Force Base had already had 120 and was out there teaching whenever they would be interacting with the civilian population. That was mostly Tacoma, because Fort Lewis was close to Tacoma, and so was McCord Air Force Base. And from Tacoma, they branched up and went into Seattle. We didn't even know there was guards up there in Seattle. And I was like, damn, the guards is everywhere, right? And when I was up there, me and Under was building, it was like 89. That was late 80s. 89 getting ready to hit 90. Right?
Right inside.
So, and then even then, because I was saying, well, when Igar was born in it to me, and we would be sitting with, because Igar's enlightener, from what I understand, I'm not saying that's our only enlighteners, but who was influential on us in understanding 120, Allah Foundation. So Allah Foundation was very influential on us. We called him Father Divine back in the day, but his name now is Fakim Allah. He was influential on us. I mean, even Prince Love, Universal Prince Love, was influential on us because the first person I saw with lessons was Universal Prince Love, and the first person I saw also was Prince Love. And he saw him in the 70s, and I saw him in the 80s. So that's how this shit went. So he was active. Everybody was doing what they was doing, and it is what it is. But as you know, pardon me, but as people was making it knowledge born, we was saying we had exercises. Like they'll say, nowadays I hear a lot of guards in different ciphers. They might not born their math and their alphabets and everything like that. They might not. There's groups of guards that don't agree with it. But that ain't how I got it. You know, and the guard was saying, yeah, if you do, which I didn't add it up, but he had said when he added up devil, it came out to be 7.
But then that was...
Well, in my mind, I was saying, okay. I mean, just on face value, when you said devil is 7 and G-O-D doesn't even spell 7. It comes out to be 26. So I'm saying, all right, you said that devil comes out to be 7. And in my mind's eye, I'm thinking to myself, well, let's look through that, because that's D-I-V. I'm just saying, D is 4.
D is 4, E is...
No, D-I, D-E-V-I-L-E, right? So D, yeah, right, E is 5, right? So we just going to do the straight add up, right?
So we now at, what is it?
Right, D-E-V is 22. So it's D-E-V-I 9, L is 12. That's already, okay, that's why they said it. Because it comes out to be 52. Now, wait, that ain't it, because I remember we was building on that, right? So now, well, we're going to take a piece of paper. So everybody got to take their little piece of paper now. We get ready to, we're going to bond it to ourselves. We're going to see why people didn't like it, or why, if it's the truth or not. Because mathematics don't tell lies.
No, it doesn't.
Mathematics tell the truth. So mathematics say devil, devil equal 52. So actually, devil don't born 7. It born 52. And the 5 and the 2 equal 7. So from the gate, I'm seeing a flaw in the mathematical equation, because devil 4, 5, 22, 9, and 12 does not equal 7. That equals 52. So the vibration when you a devil, your vibration is more on a 52. You vibrating at 52. And when you God, you vibrating at 26, which is a full, complete supreme mathematics. Supreme mathematics go from 1 to 26, right? So far, this is what I'm seeing when I'm making knowledge born from the mathematics. I'm gonna let the mathematics walk and talk with me. The mathematics walk and talk to everything in the universe. It don't have a separation. Oh, I only talk to the math. No, I talk to everybody because I'm God. So let's take it to the next level, right? So everybody done wrote that down, right? So now we know that it really didn't. Devil doesn't really born God. It really born power, wisdom, and God born wisdom equality. And wisdom equality born build or destroy. He who is God, or build and destroy. So you build and add on, and destroy means to know of. Take that which is untruth and add light to the what? Knowledge. All right, so now we're going to go to the next level. Now let's look at Yacub. Now some people spell Yacub one way, other people spell it another way. But in my lessons it's spelled Yacub. So you got 25, 1, 3, because you and I verse, that's 21. And B, that's 2. So we're going to let the machine add it all up. Everybody get that add up. Go ahead, the fact checkers and everybody adding it up. Now, back in the days, I'm not even going on what I'm adding it up. I'm just going by what's in my head. My brain is saying, without me adding it up, my brain is saying 52. But I'm gonna add it up for you. 'Cause I'm just going by back in the days, and it's like a osmosis in my head. I can't even get it out. So 25 plus 1 plus the understanding and the universe. Right. Wait, something is wrong. We didn't add that up right. Well, from the gate, you're getting 25 and 21. Right? So I'm saying, why did we keep seeing, why did we see 52? I don't know why. We saw the 52 from devil, we know that. But 25 plus 1 is only, I know what happened. We didn't clear it. Because ain't no way 2 and 5 and 1 equal 130. Something's wrong. So, all right, 25 plus 1, that should only be 26. The hell's going on here? Plus 3, right? That's 29. Plus 21. C plus 2. It is 52. I was wondering where that came from, because my head said, nah, man, because we was quoting these degrees and born in them. So, Yacub born 52 too. Just like the devil, born 52.
That's right.
And Yacub born 52. Now, look, watch this. Yacub was an original man and the founder of the devil. He not only is the founder of the devil, he's the father of the devil. Now, the original man, let's go through man. See, When I think of man, I always think of Dumar. Because he always said, man is mine.
That's right.
All right, so when we look at MAN, I ain't even going to run through that one. Y'all going to have to catch up now because it's on. Man born wisdom build to destroy. Which come right back to what was Yacub first rules and regulations, including all laws enforced by manufacturing the devil. He couldn't even make the devil without the original man.
When I that too, God, and I think I always go to non-cipher, who's the mystery God.
Who is that mystery God? That one too. No, it's gonna make it coded there too, cause the wisdom bill gonna come out to be knowledge added on to a cipher. So if we go to knowledge added on to a cipher, we gonna automatically get to see.
Right. Because when you got 52.
Right.
Right, and when you think of 52, and you think about, okay, I'm thinking about power and wisdom. Okay, it's reflected through your action, your ways of action, like those of us think, or so right there.
Right there, that takes it right there.
Wisdom build. You're gonna either build or destroy. We'll give you Yacub and bring the man.
And Yacub number equals the devil. Now some people didn't somebody say they spell Yah. Oh, they had a K, K-U-B.
Oh, I didn't have
some people had a K-U-B.
Yeah, right.
But that would make it an 11.
Right.
So you would just 3. So that would give it carry over 0. That'd make it 11. So that'd take the 1 off the top and the 2 make it 8. So you would just add 8 to 52. And that would tell you if you had it. And that would give you 10, 0, 1. And make it a 60, which is still coming out to the devil. Oh, my bad. Because he's saying 6. His name would be 6. Man, don't tell me this math ain't right and exactly what it is. Don't get scared because the number come out looking crazy. The number wouldn't come out looking crazy if everybody was doing the math according to the mathematical equation. Don't do short math, do long math. Short math don't give you the real number. See, in reality, and I didn't want to say that, but it's the truth. Short math is really, that's numerology. See, when they do numerology, they'll look at the two numbers if it's wisdom knowledge. Because it's the universe. They won't say it's wisdom knowledge. They'll just add it up together and make it an understanding. But it ain't an understanding. It's a piss poor understanding if you started off with the wisdom and the knowledge. You should have started with the knowledge and the wisdom and work your way up to wisdom knowledge. So now you wisdom in your what knowledge, and they doing the knowledge to your wisdom, and they bring about that understanding understood. But it ain't gonna be no understanding understood if it's free wisdom all up in the front. Cause you talking, you don't know what you talking about. You just running your mouth fast type. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Okay, we're going to take this back again. I didn't want to do it, but we just had to do it because we had to look ourselves and see why people were saying that it was this, but it was really that. Because I'm saying I don't remember. I don't remember it coming out that way. Those numbers coming that way. All right, so from that point, we're going to take it to that the math is right and exact and people ain't right and exact and they trying to switch the math over or limit you to how you going to do your math and everything like that. Don't limit the math. The mathematics is infinite. It can add up on anything. The ancients in Kabbalistics and Kabbalah and the ancient languages all the way back past the Sanskrit, all the way going with Zechariah and them be doing that research on them Zechariah Sitchin hieroglyphics and all of those ancients bear witness to the mathematics and the sound of the vibration of the voice, which is giving you letters. You can't even talk to me about mathematics unless you use your language. You have to talk telepathically in your mind. Once you open your mouth and say a word, like 1, you just merged mathematics and alphabet. You just merged it. Now, any college student knows that if I say to you 1, hello, that's if I say spell 1, that's O-N-E. But if I'm telling you, give me 1 and 1, I ain't telling you add O-N-E up, which is 34, and add O-N-E up, which is 34, and add those two 34s up. That's not what I'm saying when I say 1, but I still use language to tell you add 1. I really mean that letter, that number, that numeral 1. 1 and 1 is equal to 2. That's what they doing. See, so stop. You're killing me. I don't know. I was wondering if the devil infiltrated us and told us to stop studying math in all kind of different ways.
Indeed, because it's always when I think about it, especially working in the healthcare field, there's always go back to the 6 ounces of brain, and then you think about the genealogy, and they in their world they think about eugenics. And then we know, and the guys teach that, it's about who the original man is.
And their eugenic program is to stop the original people from reproducing.
Exactly.
There's no other, and to slow the population of the original people. So, in these modern terms, since everybody's going according to the teachings of Negroid, Caucasoid, Mongoloid, black, brown, red, yellow, white. Everybody still kind of adheres to that non-scientific method of determining who lives on the planet Earth, right? As far as people are concerned. Even when they look at cats.
But the thing about it is that the European doesn't know about the original man or the indigenous people until they're actually on the autopsy table, because it wasn't until recently that they really, like the recent years, that they really looked at the value of cipher or old positive blood. They didn't, but in every type of research as far as like pharmaceutical or health in general, they always need the original. They're just now accepting. Well, not want to say accept it, but they're trying to not so much hide the fact that the brown and yellow all have that original man DNA.
Where he's going. I remember the guy said. He said Yacub's first rules was to see those fathers healthy, strong, and good breeding. He said, well, what was Allah's rule? Right? Allah's rule was to see all his followers and all the gods. Because you had followers, you had the God, you had the earth, you had Muslims, you had civilized people, you had Muslim and Muslim sons. All of them needed to be healthy, strong, and good breeders. Because the genetic code is where the problem comes. And that makes me go right into the problem book. And then from there, it makes me go into a Law 360. Firstborn Prince quoted a Law 360 for us. So we can listen to him quote a Law 360. And then you can understand why he was saying, if the right and exact sperm get with the right and exact egg, then the baby is right and exact. And if you could perpetuate that throughout the nation, in no amount of time, we will be free. Because we are not free. You're still asking the person who colonized you to let you go. Stop killing you and all other than people on the street saying, we not telling you that you need to run up on them Europeans who stormed the DC place and kill them. I don't want you to kill them either. But I want you to treat the way you did them when they went crazy. You're supposed to do that to us when we go crazy. Because we have more of a reason to be crazy than anybody else. Because you've been keeping us prisoner of war. Then you went to Jim Crow and black codes. Then you went to prison complex system and all the other psychological damage that you have done to the original people.
It's always been about the mind, even the disease COVID, if you break it down, because what disease, what organ attacks every organ in your body? The mind. COVID is a neurological disease. Because you break it down to the symptoms and stuff, and you know what part of the brain is being affected by what you are ingesting.
Now that's deep. And if you do it at a young enough stage, I could damage the sperm before it even gets to the egg, and I could damage the egg before it even gets into the uterus. And now I got two damaged sperm and egg uniting in a damaged body.
Well, they're now realizing, like, wait a minute, how to eat to live doesn't begin when you are physically on this plane. It happens in the mind and in the womb. And and that's what makes them 7, 8, 10 years behind. And we don't look that way physically or mentally.
And we don't see food feeding ourselves.
Right, and see, in their language, in their world, patient zero means nothing. We don't see that. We see cipher. We understand. We now cipher.
Yeah, they do say patient zero.
God, that's God. That's zero.
360
zero,
degrees.
It's not nothing. Just you keep on going and going and going, and that's that genetic and replication.
But they don't want to go to the foundation.
No, not at all. Like I said, they see patient zero as nothing. You know.
Well, they see zero as nothing.
Right. Right. But I'm saying, still speaking in this terms of medicine, and the thing about it is that once they really looked at it, they look like, okay, it's more than one. This zero started here, when they call them clusters. Yeah, that's showing improvement.
Damn right it is.
Right.
And that's real. But until the original people love the original people's hair. See, that's where it started. That's how he banged you in your head. He made you not like your hair, your lips, your nose, your hair, your lips, your nose, your athleticity, your prowess, and your reproductive organs. He made you not like them. And so, and he gave you food that is poison, physical and mental food.
It causes the chemical imbalance to further impact the denial of your existence. Because if you are chemically and mentally imbalanced, you're going to accept whatever is being told to you who you think is in power. So it's make it easy. That's the tool right there.
We submit to.
Right. Once they have you mentally, you know, and because you look at the medicines that they create. It's not to heal. It's to keep you enslaved. Because you look at the side effects is always something mentally, and then it makes you which creates another disease that you'll have. So the thing about it is that this system was never supposed to heal. It was supposed to hinder
and make you less than.
Right, and how do you? Because you think they know that we are not the minorities. So how would you get a mass of people through the food and water, food, clothing, and shelter? The main things that they made sure that they maintain and in control. And the thing about it is that when they came to what is now called America, they were living with unclothed and stuff. We weren't living that way. We were further along, but these things are based on their mental limitations. Because even you look, they look at us. They think, wow, you can learn that many languages. Well, why not? They really don't know about how the mind can expand. Like I said, they learn about us when we're on that table.
Air particles in a clot of blood. There's key hits. I'm gonna show y'all key hits. Now, if you go to your mathematics and you go King Nine Cipher Wisdom, Lord Equality, Divine God Equality, it'll come out to be born equality. And you take the born equality and you say, damn, let me go to the born equality degree in the Quran. And then you'll notice that the angel Gabriel said that was the first degree that he gave to the Prophet Muhammad. See the correlation between 96 and 1. Now, when the Father told y'all that 1 came before 2, I bet y'all wasn't ready for that one. See, that's what I'm saying. That's why I say the mathematics is so right and exact. I'll show you another one that shows and proves that the mathematics is right and exact. You just have to add it up right. You adding it up wrong. That's why you getting them wrong numbers and then you getting mad. And you don't want to bear witness to it. Devil born 7. No, devil born 52, my nigga. See, you make me go into ghetto talk. And see, that shows you that the devil, even when you got knowledge yourself and you know and understand 120 lessons and you know the black man is God. Right. And the original woman is earth. And you know and understand who the original people are, who the original man is. Right? And you be like, the original man is the Asiatic black man, maker, owner, cream of planet Earth, false civilization, God, universe. You know that, but yet you telling me that all of us, and we get real comfortable and we around each other and we talking, and I get into a serious conversation about something, you telling me that we don't all slip with, even if it only slips in your head. Some of us not. Now the older generation might not slip and say my nigga. But all of us from my age going down, man, that came right out on its own. I didn't want that to come out like that. But you know what I'm saying, though. In other words, we've all felt that. Like, we all know that feeling. The same way we know that if a European police come into the neighborhood, that feeling that we all get ain't the same feeling that the Europeans get. We get a different gut feeling. See, what it is they done told us there's only one brain and there's really 3 of them. They fucking you up. It's knowledge, wisdom, understanding. You got a stomach brain, a heart brain, and a brain. That's what you got. And don't be thinking that when the gut tell you something, man, it's like when Spider-Man say he feel that spider sense. That's like his gut saying, man, listen. Duck. They about to bring it. Our problem is we don't listen to when you going in there and buying food from the devil. And how do you eat food from the devil and you know he's the devil? I don't know how. What would make... See, that's why the Bible says, and the devil told you eat that apple and you ate it. That's just symbolic to Bear and Monsanto told you to eat that wheat and we gonna call it bread. Right. And you went with it. Had you listened to Problem Book, had you listened to a Law 360, had you listened to Message of the Black Man, had you listened to 120, see, I'm just saying, had you listened to Deuteronomy and Leviticus, depending on where you at and who you are, these are the places that the science was coming telling you what not to do and what to do. So you might have said, well, I'm just a Hebrew Israelite. Or I might be a Hebrew under Melchizedek. Or I might be a Hebrew under the Chesney. Whichever Hebrew you are, whichever Abrahamic religious ideology you hold, even if you saying you Christian, you telling me you a Christian, and we just gonna talk regular Christianity, not get deep and talk about Yahweh and Yahshua. We ain't gonna go deep with Esau, which born wisdom born itself. That's deep. How Jesus was born 74, but Esau and Quran are born wisdom born, but they both come out to be knowledge. And then they come out to be wisdom, which the water in the well will never go dry. And the water, he said, yeah, his wisdom and his words was never go dry. So, like I said, the math. So we went back to the 96. We ain't left 96 yet. Don't think y'all got away. And it said air particles in a clot of blood. Notice how where it went to. It goes right into procreation. It don't even go into nothing else. You look at the first 5 surahs, right? And you say to yourself, we're going to look at the first 5 surahs. And it say, read in the name of thy Lord who creates. So read. So that's what? Do the knowledge. And then it creates man from a clot. That air particles in a clot of blood attach itself to the uterus wall. End of the conversation. It's over. It's a wrap, son. Read in thy Lord is most generous who taught by the pen. You're writing. So you quote the lessons and then you're supposed to write them down. Like the God gonna give you the lesson, you gonna write yours down. And taught man what he knew not. You ain't know that the original man was God. See what I'm saying? And then, nay, man is surely inordinate because he looks upon himself as self-sufficient. You cannot eat food that is synthetic from the devil and believe you're gonna be all right. It's impossible. Now I'm gonna show you something. We all had knowledge of something. We thought that stopping eating swine was enough. That was pretty much where everybody was at. And then as we grew and learned and we read Leviticus 11, we said, oh, we don't even have to, if you use Leviticus 11, you will be right on point. You just got to remember the trick knowledge. See, let me show you how the trick knowledge came in. We're going to go right back to Wisdom Builder Destroyer. It's going to show you where the trick knowledge is. See? It says, Yacub. Now, see, if you look in the lesson, I don't know. My lesson got Yacub's name spelled with it. This one here says Yacob. You see, some people got it that way too, right? Yeah, so the O would be 15, and that would, instead of U, would be 21. All right, so you could add that one up and see what that come out to be. But see, you got Yacub with a COB, you got Yacub with a CUB, you got Yacub with a KUB. Hell, there might be another one with a KOB. But we all know Yacub also had other rules and regulations, and then it has comma. See, that's a complete thought, which are not mentioned in this lesson. Now, speaking on complete thoughts, right? And I always looked at that one part, and I said to myself, every time a comma comes, that's a complete thought, but it's still within the sentence. But it's a complete thought within itself, right? So if you look at the lessons, it says, what is the meaning of civilization? The reason why I went to 77 is because power born God. That's really what power born. It don't born knowledge, culture, then come back to be power. It start off being God, and so if you go to the God degree in 120 lessons, you're going to end up seeing the knowledge God degree in the 1 to 40, right? All right, and then it's going to say, what is the meaning of civilization? Unless we not using punctuation, if we're going to have a run-on sentence, then all them words will go all together. Well, we didn't have a run-on sentence. We had one having knowledge, comma, wisdom, comma, understanding, comma, culture, comma, and then it says refinement. And is not a Sabbath in the pursuit of happiness. So refinement is by itself, and once they put and, that made it inclusive, but it's still a complete thought by itself. And then we added up: knowledge 1, wisdom 2, understanding 3, culture 4. Refinement looked like it's number 5 to me, because it's, unless you're trying to say that it was saying culture, refinement together, but why did they put a comma after culture then? And that wouldn't make. That's not proper English writing, how you write the English language to make a sentence. Not a complete word like culture, but culture in itself is, the culture is I, God. It doesn't need to be with refinement. The culture I, God is going to make you free. The power might need to refine itself because a laser is a refined light. It cut the lightsaber is a sun, but it's refined into a one-line beam to make it strong and powerful that way. You could, okay, I'm the God, you the earth. I'm the powerful, he's the God is powerful, and the earth is refined.
That's right.
We getting ready to go, I don't know, it's time to get up in the morning. Are we going to deal with refinement? You not gonna deal with refinement? You ain't gonna put, I don't know, you can put power on your face. You gonna use refinement, water and all that other good stuff that's in the second degree. Because water wouldn't be in the power spot, it would be in the refinement spot. You know, I mean, come on, man. Let's make sense of these mathematics. Like the young guy said, man, this shit gotta make sense.
What is that? And the correlation between that is that you need to understand that it's not just. You can't look at. They can't look at it at the European and Gregorian standards and think, okay, in this limits.
Yeah, because he's limited,
Right.
and that's why he got limitations on what he do. Right. Oh, you could only, we don't mix mass. No, that's a limitation, man. My name God.
That's right.
I don't have no limitation. I mix and do whatever I want. I'm God. How the fuck you the God and you gotta be unlimited? I only could do this and I only could do that. You can't do this, you can't do that. If the only thing you're supposed to be limited on is how you treat that physical composition because it can't take for so much damage. You want to limit something? Limit that any lie grab the germ from original. I'm gonna show you. I want to do limitations. Let's deal with limitation. So we're gonna deal with limitation now. Because people want to deal with limitations. I'm gonna go with the limited shit. Here's limited. If you're an animal eater, you need to be doing Leviticus 11. That's what your limitations you should be on. If you're an original man in the wilderness, North America, your limitations is you shouldn't be eating more than an 8-hour window. Them other 16 hours, you shouldn't be eating anything at all. If you got lipomas, tags, and overgrown moles, and your joints is inflamed, then you ain't been limiting how much devil food you've been putting in you. Did you take the devil off your what, planet? Or are you still eating like you was eating when you was a Christian? See, you running around here and you showing and proving yourself as being God, but you holding on to some of that backwater we got from 1555 all the way up to 1865 to 1865 to 1965. We be holding it as a people. You hold it, I hold it, we all holding it now. It ain't nothing new. It ain't like we ain't all holding it. We holding it. We can't help but hold it. The reason why we hold it is because it's inside of our psyche. They had control of us in such a long time that even right now we all still kind of bear witness to an Abrahamic religion without even knowing it. Elijah and them couldn't even talk to us. He couldn't even come right out and tell you who you really are. He had to kind of put it all together and get at you. And then here we'll be in modern days talking about, oh, that word Asiatic, that ain't no real word. Elijah made that up. But yet, if you go back into ancient times, the translation for Malkuth, the translation for knowledge added onto a cipher in the quadrilateral tree of life is Asiatic. And that's my word is bond. And that was way before Elijah came on the scene. So this is what I'm saying. You having doubts in 120. It ain't 120 that's in doubt. It's you that's in doubt. You need to step your game plan up. But anyway, I ain't trying to come on us because really when I'm talking to you, I'm talking to myself because we all got doubts and we all trying to come up and it is what it is. But we don't need to be dogmatic and religious. And if you do want to be dogmatic and religious, don't be bleeding that on the youth. Don't be telling the youth don't do this and don't do. Let them explore. Let them check out everything. Let them see everything. If the lessons is right and exact, you can stand up to anything. If they want to try to program them, they could try. 120 will stop it all. That's my word is born, and I'm out. Peace. The God divine understanding, born of law. Oh, peace. Oh, you know how we do it. It's an Ancient Order Free Asiatics production. Center Man 7 publication, and we out. Peace.